Good morning, everybody. Happy Elul. I'm here today because I thought that I wanted to share a story from a book I had written. However, Holy Spirit's directing me to do something a little different today and to go to a recent vision that I had. So apparently the video that I had put out with the king is in the field, he's not done with that topic. He's really been stressing the point. So much so that a couple of days ago, I had this incredible vision, and before me, I could just see all these armies of heaven. It was almost like these soldiers, glowing, brilliant light in all these ranks. They were just lined up in these segments, and over each segment of the army was a cloud. It's almost like the cloud of the Lord was hovering over, and as this cloud would move, the armies were moving. And I could see them coming forth. I could see them coming towards myself and towards the king until we were surrounded by the armies of heaven. And it takes me back to the story where Elijah was with his servant, and he knew that he was being surrounded by all these armies, but he prayed that his servant's eyes would be open to see that they were also surrounded by the armies of heaven. So folks, it might feel like you are really surrounded by darkness right now. Our country's surrounded in darkness, but there's also something really magnificent taking place in the supernatural realm right now. So after this occurred and I was surrounded, I was almost like out of myself, looking down on myself to see this happen and see all these armies, vast armies. And then I was taken back into my body. And I could see, it was almost like I was standing in a cornfield, but it was rows and rows of these armies, these brilliant, glowing, what I want to say men, because I wasn't really seeing wings, but there was something angelic about them. But it was as there was row and row after these men, and I remember standing in this field. Almost like they just felt like cornfield. I don't know. It just had this harvesty feel to it. It just had this September feel to it. And I'm standing there, and before me, I could see the king coming. I was getting so excited. I was about to, I didn't know whether to cry, scream, run to him. Look at me, I'm tongue-tied over this. But as he came forward, he was just glowing. He was amazing. I mean, and it got to the point where I was so overwhelmed by his presence that I just dropped to my knees. And I looked before me, and all I could see were his feet and his legs just sparkling and glowing. This like brilliant white with golden hues. It was just amazing. So I want to say to you, the Lord is saying he's here. He's accessible, like super accessible right now. He's here before us. We just need to give him our request right now. Make our request known to him. He is in the field. His presence is here. He's with us. And not only that, we are surrounded by his armies, the heavenly host, his armies. They're here for protection, for guidance, like anything that you ask. I feel like this is the month that it's going to happen. It's going to take place. So I'm going to rewind. And several years back, the Lord had shown me, and I actually heard him give me my two, what I would say, guardian angels' names. And the interesting thing is that they were their names in Hebrew meant the light of God or fire of God and the cloud of God. And so throughout my life, especially during Passover time, I would be extremely aware of this. How when the Israelites were passing through and they were being chased by the Egyptian armies, that cloud of the Lord would protect them by day, shield them from the heat, and by night they had a fire. Their path was illuminated, so they were never abandoned or left alone. And so the very thing that will cover you, like that cloud of the Lord, is the very thing that blocks the enemy during the day. They can't see you. It's like you're invisible, like you're cloaked. And the very thing that will guide you at night, that light and that brilliance, is the very thing that is blinding your enemy by day, and they still can't see you. So they're not catching up to you. And it's almost like that feel of like Haman when the very noose that he had set up, the gallows that he was building, that he intended to use one of God's people on, was the very gallows that he himself got hung on. So I think that the Lord really is highlighting the fact, especially in my recent vision with the armies of heaven, that in this day there are clouds. These clouds are coming, and they're coming with these armies. So God is first. Be encouraged. He is in the field. Make your requests known to him. This is going to be a super special supernatural month. I guess every month is, but just happy Elul and be blessed.